Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fox Javille and welcome back to another episode of the Why Play Show. My little gaming review that I've been putting together of a few games that I own for Steam reviews that I've been writing. So today I'm reviewing Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade. It's an early access game on Steam. It's roughly £30 at the moment. You could possibly pick it up cheaper somewhere else like G2A, but I managed to pick this up in a sale, and I have to say, I've not been disappointed. It's a bit of a weird review, this one. I actually haven't got a single bad thing to say about the game. They've been in development for some time, so this is not a new game. It's been out there for a while, but like all early access games, I'm very dubious of jumping straight into them. I tend to wait a couple of months, let them iron out a few bugs and flush a few systems out before I buy in, unless the game really grabs my attention and just wows me where I'm throwing money at the screen. So without further ado, let's get into the game itself. Now, if you are new to Warhammer 40k or the Warhammer series, I will try to talk about the lore and what it is. I'm not a master at this. There's three types of consumers who will be looking at this product. One is the Emperor's loyal servants who are addicts of the board game, t-shirts, novels, books, and it's a huge multi-billion-dollar company. It's been going for years before I was even born, so you probably won't even need to watch this review because it has the name Warhammer in it. You've probably already bought it. The second consumer is more of a gamer, basically your basic gamer who's heard of Warhammer, knows someone who plays it, or has seen the games published by Sega, as Sega seem to be the predominantly big company that publishes them. They did Space Marines and they do the Warhammer Dawn of War series. So yeah, there's a number of Warhammer games throughout the years in gaming. As I say, they've been going for a while, so you probably have seen these games, played one or two, and want to know what this one's about. Stick around. And then, as I said, there's the third consumer who's just doesn't have a clue what this is, sees it on Steam Early Access and thinks it looks good, but is unsure about picking it up. Well then, as I say, stick around and I will get to hopefully show you everything that you need to know. So, with my reviews that I do, I value the game on certain mechanics. How's its interface, how's its gameplay, how's its ease of access. I add up all this to its value and then basically say, yeah, it's worth the price tag or it's not. This game's menu system is awesome. When you start up the game, you have to log in through their launcher. Now, I will just point out a petty issue that I have with most modern day games. They lack single player, and this is no exception, but the difference with this is it clearly states on the tin that it doesn't have a single player because it's a massive multiplayer online shooter, more like a battle arena type team deathmatch, so it's going down that road of multiplayer rather than adding in a single player campaign. So I can forgive it for some of its features that it offers that do this really well. So its menus are really simple. You have play, options and quit, and we'll just go over some of the options really quickly. You have credits, controls. This can be played with both a controller and a keyboard and mouse. I feel it's leaning sort of halfway in between the preference. Like if you play with a keyboard and mouse, you're not going to be sort of at a disadvantage with someone who plays it with a controller, and likewise with people on the controller. If you're playing with a controller, you're not going to be at a disadvantage with the people who play with a keyboard and mouse. If you've played the Warhammer Space Marine game that was released, this has identical controls to that game's mechanics, so if you were happy playing with them controls, you have the same controls here. In its general options, we have a few controls like quick sprint turns, throw grenades on release and such, voice chat, The video settings are very basic to the point where you literally have a slider for your graphics quality, 3 being the max, and your resolution. I think I can actually put this now to this one, and I'm going to hit apply on this. Which also brings me to the actual game's overhaul graphics. They're amazing. Sound effects are awesome. I'm just going to slightly turn them up a bit. They are a little loud, like extremely loud, but overall they're pretty awesome. So let's play the game. The game itself, as I said, is a MMO shooter type of thing. It's like a online only game. There is no single player. The way this works is you get a choice of races, like the Warhammer series in general has different races for the board game that you play against. The classic being the Space Marines, Chaos Marines, Orcs, Tyranids and such. This only has 4 playable races out of the bajillion that is in the actual lore itself. So, a trick that I did find out about, the game uses a matchmaking system. Now, if you choose to only play as a Space Marine, you might get stuck in long waiting periods for games to launch and such. So I was reading in the Steam forums that to get around this, make different classes. 1, you get to try out all the different cool stuff that each class has, and 2, it helps you get into games a little bit faster if you find that the loading times are just a little bit long. Usually they're not. So I've made a Space Marine, a Chaos Marine and an Eldar. I have an empty slot here and I'll show you the character creation. Now when you choose a race that you'd like to play as, each race has their own factions inside that race. So the Dark Angels, the Ultramarines, the Space Wolves, who aren't available just yet, the Blood Angels and the Imperial Fists. The Chaos Marines have their own factions. Each race will have their own factions. This is early access, so not all the features that you see at the moment will be locked. When you come to buy the game, it will probably be full release. Hopefully it will be full release for you and you'll be able to try out the full features of the game. So I've already created a character. I'm going to choose him now. As I was saying about the character customization, there is quite a lot of things that you can customize and unlock for your character. The graphics of the game are awesome. The player models really feel like you're playing a Space Marine. So on the actual multiplayer screen itself, the actual game's core mechanic, we have a few options. We have the Battle Now, which is quick match. It will just throw you into a game that's already out there. World Map, we'll go over this in a second. Your Loadout, which is your character customization. Store for microtransactions, such as custom themes for your character, gold and stuff that you might want to buy. Advancements, which is a really cool feature that I like. It will help you in the replayability of this game, which this game has a lot of replayability. It's a skill tree. Basically, you unlock certain features that will help you progress through the game and make the game slightly easier. So I already have, I think I have 2 advancements points that I can spend. So I've got fuel regain, and I believe I have stamina regain. So I'm going to actually purchase this, and that's now unlocked. And I'm going to purchase the fuel regain. There we go, they're the 2 that I've purchased. There is other things that you can unlock. I'd say this game has a lot of unlock features. Let's go over the actual loadouts of your character. So there is a lot of customization in the game. There's different classes that you get to play. Each race has their own sort of class with each abilities and things that you need to use while in the game itself. So you can sort of see an overview of this character's equipment. Now you have the tactical, the Devastator class, who has this massive cannon, the Assault Jump, who has a jetpack. This is the medic class. I can't pronounce that word. Apothecary, and he is the medic class. He can basically heal units. And then you have the Assault Ground, who has a massive shield and a chainsaw or chainsword. Now there's various currency in the game, RTC and tokens. Now I will just click the primary weapon and show you some of the unlockables. Now with the currency and skill points that you unlock, you can unlock various weapons for your character. So far I haven't unlocked anything, I've just kept everything basic. There is an appearance tab, but it's currently not available in the alpha, and I would only assume this. I haven't read what is going to be on the appearance tab, but I'm guessing it will be custom helmets, paint skins for your character, and cosmetic stuff. I don't know if you're going to be able to unlock them or they're all just going to be paid items, but that is your character customization. Now, as I said before at the beginning of this video, I review games based on their value and a lot of their functions that make up their value, if it's worth buying. A lot of early access games or multiplayer games out there seem to limit players when they want to play with friends. This game actually goes against that. This is like the highlight of my video, and that is the war parties function. War parties is basically 6 of you and your friend, you and 5 of your friends can get together and create a war party and join the game modes straight from this sort of screen. You all create a party and then go off and as a team work together to complete objectives. This is a massive plus in my review. I love games that add this in. A lot of the time, me and my friends are always looking for games that we can play together as a group. This mechanic is just the greatest mechanic that I love about this game, where we can actually get together, form our party, and then go straight in. So that is a big plus for me. That has 1 point in my review. If you have friends and you and your friends want to get together and play, this is like a big mechanic that I would definitely suggest buying the game for. So I would definitely suggest buying the game for this mechanic specifically. If you have a group of friends that would like to play together. Now, going back to the world map, we have a number of features with this. This is also your matchmaking selection, where you can jump into games straight away. You can go to a garrison, and I believe that's the training post. You can actually train at and do like little tutorials. When you do join the game, it asks you, do you want to go into a garrison and train? Now, not a lot can be done with this screen at the moment. If you click on outposts, I haven't learned how to do much with it. I think you just click on the outpost and then click one of these options to do something there, but I'm guessing later on they're going to add in more races and such. Now, at the moment, the gold represents Space Marines, the red represents Chaos, so this is the war map, sort of fields, and later on, kind of like a Planet Side 2 mechanic, they may add up like purple for the Eldar, green for the Orcs, different colours, and then basically each of these grids over time will change colour and you push back the enemy and such. Tyranid Hive is blocked out at the moment, and this is their co-op gameplay that I was reading about, where you and a group of friends can get together and do AI wave-based combat where you have to defend outposts against waves of Tyranids. Okay, so that's all the different menus and options. Now we're just going to actually go into a battle. Now, as I did say earlier on, if you're finding that the queuing is taking a little bit of time and you're not able to just get straight into a match, create a different class, join that class, and then come back in and try joining a different game mode, and it should hopefully put you in. So that's taking a bit too long. We're going to go into world map, and I'm going to try and click on an outpost that is under attack, and a bit of ground battle. See if anyone is there. Sorry, grand battle. I'm not 100% sure what the difference is between skirmish battles and grand battles. Maybe one is smaller, one is bigger. Different objectives. Skirmish battle. It is taking a bit of time, so I'm going to back out and actually change my class. There we go. So as stated earlier on, if you are struggling to get into a match, just change your character class and try out the different races with different equipment. It's always good to, give you that variety, and this game really does do that. In the different races have different abilities, they all have different equipments and their own quirky little sort of things. Now when I get into game, I will try to go through the different classes just to show you each of the class and what they all do. Right, so we have the Traitor preset, the Havoc preset, the Raptor, Aspiring Sorcerer, and the Traitor Assault.
Deployed as commanded!
So here the Chaos Marines have to defend areas, I think. We have to sort of go and take over these letters, like the zones. Now the game does have a mixture of both vehicle combat and land combat. here we are, we're in the thick of the combat.
We built the Imperium, and we shall tear it down!
As I said before, the graphics are absolutely amazing. Sound effects are awesome. The overall feel of the game, it feels like you are playing like a Warhammer game. Even for an early access game. Now, the game on your screen may look slightly choppy and laggy, and that is simply because I have it on the highest settings and I don't think my PC can actually handle the game. So I may just lower the quality down. I'm not too sure. Now there are executions in the game. So you can actually execute them like you could in Space Marines. There's different styles of executions. I believe it's actually created with the same group. Just gonna slightly lower the video settings down to 2 again. There isn't a drastic sort of improvement, but or change. Oh, he burnt me before he could do an execution. I was hoping he was going to be able to show you an execution style. Right, but I will just change my loadout really quickly so we can see some of the other loadouts. I'm going to spawn on B here.
Enough of this waiting! The gods demand blood and souls!
So you see that little plus symbol above the dude's head and like the skull? You can actually bring your fellow comrades back up on their feet if you can get close to them. There is like a revive option. There is also a bleed out option, kind of like Gears of War had, where you can actually bleed out. So people can get to you. guy just killed me, didn't even bother doing an execution. I don't think people actually do the executions because, as I say, when you do them, they are really hard to pull off, and you leave yourself vulnerable. Did you see a space marine here? Wow, that is a very powerful gun that he has.
Enough of this waiting! The gods demand blood!
Someone's really firing a gun there. I think that's actually a bug. That's not someone firing a gun, that is actually a bug, so there's some people fighting up ahead. Oh wow.
Black Legion, prepare!
So I hope this gameplay video and review gives you a little bit of an insight as to the game, and if you are looking at picking up, you will not be disappointed. There is always games going on. The updates are amazing. They are literally constantly updating all the freaking time. Come on, do it. Oh, he didn't. So I'm pretty much going to end the video in a minute, as it is getting very long and 30 minutes. But yeah, the Space Marines are in this, the Chaos Marines are in this, the Eldar and the Orcs. I don't know if they're going to add any other characters, but the 4 playable races that are in it are really good. So yeah, that's been my review for Warhammer 40k. As I say, out of a score of 10, I'd easily give this an 8. There's still room for improvement. New features can be added and stuff, which is a little bit easier matchmaking maybe. As I do find the matchmaking does let it down slightly, and you do have to switch classes a lot, but it's not a bad thing because it does give you the ability to play the different classes. But of an overall score, I'm definitely going to give this an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend anyone pick this game up. It is amazing. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. If you have any improvements for videos or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section and I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. Have a nice day.